Let's look at how to put together a video using multiple green screen clips that look something like this. Now this video has 5 different clips in it. It has a piece of footage of people walking, a man putting on a mask with a green screen background, a cloud with green screen, rain with green screen, and a piece of virus with a green screen background as well. So we're going to put all of this together and composite it so that it looks like it is one big clip. In order to do so, we're going to go ahead and close this, and we'll first take our footage of the people and drag it and drop it out into the timeline to start a brand new timeline. Second thing that we'll do is take the piece of footage of the man and drag that out and drop it here as well above that. Now we need to take this green out so we can see the people walking below it. In order to do so, we'll go to the effects and start typing in Ultra key. You'll then take that and drop it onto the top piece of footage of the man. And inside your effect controls panel, there's an eyedropper to tell the program which color to remove. You can see it's important to light a green screen evenly as possible, because if there are multiple shades of green to take out, sometimes all of the color will not come out. As you can see, there's a shadow here that's going to give us a problem. So if I take that eyedropper, I can click in the green, and you can see it removes most of it, but that shadow still remains. To get a better view of it, we can go into the output and go to the alpha channel, and we want solid white and solid black. Anything that's hazy is going to remain there as well. The black will be completely removed. You can try to change the settings to aggressive, which helps some, but not completely. And there are multiple other settings you can adjust here. In the matte generation folder, you can change any of these. For example, the shadow will affect the shadows, the darker colors, the highlights, the lighter colors. One that typically works pretty well is pedestal. So we turn that pedestal all the way up. You can see it removes most of it, but not all of it. So we could then come in and adjust the shadows as well and remove most of it, but then it starts removing the man. So something you can do instead, so let's turn off the Ultra key momentarily. We can come in here and get a crop and drop the crop effect onto the footage of the man. And you can see that shows up here as well. So here's what it does. If I crop from the left, you can see it starts to cut off that footage from the left. So if I take my pen and I simply make a shape around the man, making sure to include any areas where he's going to be moving in the shot. I'm going to go ahead and connect that at the other end. And if we play this through and make sure that his arms are completely inside of that, which they are not quite, so we can adjust that. Now we can go ahead and crop it. So if we take the crop over again, you'll see it's going to remove him. But if we invert it, now we'll remove the background. And that eliminates this problem area on the side. So now that we've done that, we can also go back into the Ultra key, and you can see now it's everything in there is solid black and solid white, and we should be good to go. So let's change that back to composite, and you can see that he is now in the shot. We could then go ahead and move him, position him wherever we want, get him whatever size we would like him to be. There are other settings in there that you can adjust as well. If there's maybe some green on the edge of your subject, you can adjust the spill suppression to try to take some of that green out. You can adjust the colors if some of the colors were taken out by the green, so we'll add a little more saturation. You can do things like that to adjust it to make it look like it's really there. Now that we've done that, we could put in a cloud. So let's take this cloud and we will move that to the top layer, which is completely now covered. We could do the same thing and drag on an Ultra key. Drop that onto the footage on the top of the cloud. Take the eyedropper, find a spot that's green and click, and that now removes that. We can then do the same thing as we did before on the alpha channel, and if we need to adjust this, we can. But before that, let's go ahead and position it where we want it to be. So I'm going to go ahead and take this up to the top of the clip, and you can see there are some edges here that we're going to want to remove. So I could come on in here and adjust the pedestal. Get that as much as I can out of there. So that looks pretty good. Now we've got a cloud up in the sky. We can position that wherever we'd like it to be and rotate it and all those types of things. So let's move it up a bit higher, and that looks good there. Okay, next we can put in the rain. So let's pull the rain. In fact, let's put the rain below the cloud. So we'll pull the cloud up a layer and we'll put the rain below that. And on this rain layer, we're going to do the same thing. We're going to take an Ultra key, we're going to drop it onto the rain footage, and we will take the eyedropper, click in an area of green, and we've now got rain. It doesn't look very realistic. It's pretty bright, so we could come in and change down the opacity to something quite a bit lower, something like that. And to really maybe sell the effect, let's make this even lower. We could go ahead and move up the cloud, the rain, and the man, and we could put another copy of this. So I'm just going to hold down Alt and drag down. Put another copy of the behind him as well, just to sell the effect. Currently we've got a bunch of audio tracks down here that we don't really need. So I'm going to hold down, and they're connected to their video, so I'm going to hold down Alt and just drag over all of those and delete them to give us a little more room here. The last thing we need to do is put this green screen piece of virus into the video as well. So we'll take that, drag it and drop it up on top, and do the same thing. We'll put the Ultra key effect on it and tell it which color to remove. We can then go ahead and size it and place it where we would like it to go. And maybe we'll put a rotation on it as well so that it can spin during the clip. Now you can see that some of those clips in before others. So what we have to do now is kind of line up our clips where we want them to go and do a little fine tuning. First thing we'll do is I notice the rain still doesn't look great. We could come into the rain footage, and we're going to change the blending mode to something like overlay to make it blend a bit better. And we'll do the same thing with the other piece of rain footage. And that looks quite a bit better. And now we just need to line these up where they go. So first thing is, I notice that the footage is moving of the man. He's moving around on the screen. So I'm going to find a spot where the video stops moving. So somewhere around there. And we can take that and we can pull that from this direction, cut that end off, slide that piece of footage back. Which looks great. And we can even move this back and cut it off so those all end in the same spot. And that way you can pull all these back and get them to end at the same time. And maybe once this mask's on, the virus is even going to disappear. So we could come in to our effects, and in our transitions we'll put in a cross dissolve, a little fade on the end so the virus goes away. And that is how you create a composite video using the Ultra key effect and multiple pieces of green screened footage.